Right now, someone is studying you. Not your screen, not your phone, you. They are watching how you hold your shoulders when you talk about work. They are listening for the names that make your voice go soft. They are cataloging the exact moment your eyes stop smiling before your mouth does. You have never noticed them doing this. That is the point. This is not instinct. This is not charm. This is a system, and it has been running on you longer than you think. The human brain is wired for connection. We are neurologically built to trust people who make us feel seen. For most of human history, that instinct kept us alive. It meant we found our tribe, we found protection, we found belonging. That is not a weakness. That is millions of years of evolution working exactly as designed. But here is what evolution did not account for. Some people learn to weaponize that instinct. They learn that the fastest way into someone's life is not through force, it is through understanding. And the most dangerous people you will ever meet walk through that door so quietly, you hold it open for them. Stage 1. Observation and targeting. Stage 1 never announces itself. It does not feel like surveillance. It feels like someone finally paying attention. Psychologists have studied a technique called cold reading for decades. It was originally associated with mentalists and con artists, but researchers found the same behavioral patterns in narcissists, sociopaths, and coercive partners. Cold reading is the systematic observation of microsignals. Posture, breathing rate, eye movement. The topics someone leans into, and the ones they physically pull away from. A skilled manipulator runs this scan within the first few minutes of meeting someone. Most people never realize the interview has already happened. Every person carries what psychologists call a core wound. It is the unresolved pain that quietly drives behavior from the background. Some people carry abandonment. They over-explain. They apologize before anyone is angry. They stay too long. Some people carry chronic invisibility. They work twice as hard for half the recognition and have convinced themselves that is just how life works. Some people carry love that always came with conditions. They learned early that affection was something you performed for, not something you simply received. A manipulator does not need your therapist's notes. They need 5 minutes of conversation. Because your wound is not hidden. It shapes every sentence you speak. It lives in the stories you tell about the people who hurt you. It lives in the ones you never tell at all. The manipulator listens for both. Stage 2. Love bombing and mirroring. Stage 2 is where everything changes and nothing feels wrong. Psychologists call it love bombing, and the name does not fully capture how disorienting it is to experience. Suddenly there is someone who texts back before you have even put your phone down. Someone who remembers the offhand detail you mentioned 3 conversations ago. Someone who looks at you the way you have always wanted to be looked at, like you are not too much, like you are exactly enough. Your brain does not experience this as suspicious. Your brain experiences this as relief. Neuroscientists have studied what happens in the brain during intense early bonding. The reward system floods with dopamine. The same pathways activated by cocaine, by gambling, by unexpected winning. The brain labels this feeling as love, but what it is actually labeling is intensity. And intensity and love are not the same thing. Healthy love builds gradually. It has boring days in it. It has silence in it. It has disagreement in it. What you are experiencing in stage 2 has none of that. It is frictionless, perfect, relentless, and your nervous system does not know the difference. Behavioral scientists have documented the mirroring technique in detail. The manipulator reflects your own values back at you, your sense of humor, your communication style, your deepest beliefs about the world. They do not build a personality that complements yours. They build a personality that echoes yours. You are not falling for them. You are falling for the most flattering version of yourself that has ever existed. The bond this creates is extraordinarily powerful. Because to walk away from them later feels like walking away from yourself. That is not an accident, that is architecture. Most people assume they would recognize manipulation if they were inside it. They imagine it would look like control, like cruelty, like something obviously wrong. It does not. In stage 2, it looks like the best relationship of your life. It looks like someone who chose you completely. And by the time that changes, you have already reorganized your life around them. Stage 3 begins before you realize stage 2 has ended. Stage 3, Isolation. Stage 3 does not look like isolation. It looks like preference. It starts with a comment so small you almost miss it. I just feel like she never really listens to you the way I do. Your brother always seems to put you down. I notice it even when you don't. I just want more time with you. Is that so wrong? None of these sentences sound like control. Every one of them is. Researchers who study coercive relationships call this process social network erosion. It is methodical. It is patient. It almost never involves direct orders. Instead, it involves friction. Every time you make plans with a friend, there is an argument. Every time you spend time with family, something goes wrong. Every outside relationship becomes a source of tension, until it is simply easier to stay home, until the path of least resistance is them. The psychological consequence of isolation is profound and often invisible. Human beings calibrate their sense of reality through other people. We check our perceptions against friends, against family, against anyone who knew us before. When those relationships erode, so does the calibration. Your sense of what is normal changes. Your sense of what you deserve changes. Your sense of who you are outside of this relationship begins to blur, and that blur is not a side effect of stage 3. It is the entire point, because what comes next requires you to have no outside reference point. What comes next requires you to have only them. Stage 4. Gaslighting and devaluation. Stage 4 is where the cruelty becomes visible, and somehow you still blame yourself for it. Gaslighting is the systematic contradiction of your lived experience. The argument happened. They say it did not. You heard the tone in their voice. They say you imagined it. You remember exactly what was said. They tell you your memory cannot be trusted. The clinical term is memory distortion induction, and researchers have found it does not just create self-doubt, it actually alters the brain's ability to form and retrieve reliable memories over time. Studies on coercive control document a consistent pattern in victims. Self-trust deteriorates in measurable stages. First, people begin to second-guess their emotional responses. Then they begin to second-guess their perceptions. Then they begin to second-guess their memories. By the time they reach the third stage, the manipulator no longer needs to lie as often. The victim has learned to do it for them. Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I did misunderstand. Maybe I am the problem. That sentence, maybe I am the problem, is the most dangerous sentence in stage 4, because it closes every exit before the person ever reaches it. Alongside gaslighting, stage 4 introduces devaluation. The person who made you feel like the center of the world begins to treat you like an inconvenience. The attention disappears, the warmth disappears. Sometimes it returns, briefly, intensely, before vanishing again. This is not accidental mood fluctuation. This is the beginning of stage 5. Your brain is being conditioned, and it is working. They did not steal your reality all at once. They borrowed it in small pieces until you stopped noticing it was gone. Somewhere deep in your nervous system, something is still recording, still tracking the inconsistencies, still sending signals you have learned to override. That part of you has not given up, but stage 5 was designed specifically to make it surrender. Stage 5, total control and dependency. Stage 5 has a clinical name, trauma bond. It was first documented by researchers studying hostage survivors, people who developed powerful emotional attachments to their captors. The same neurological mechanism appears in abusive relationships. The same mechanism appears in high-control groups. The same mechanism appears anywhere that intermittent reward is used to create dependency. The cycle in stage 5 is predictable once you can see it. Cruelty followed by kindness. Withdrawal followed by warmth. Punishment followed by tenderness. The brain does not experience this as abuse. The brain experiences this as relief. And relief, after pain, feels identical to love. Neuroscientists studying this pattern found that intermittent reward cycles produce stronger behavioral conditioning than consistent reward. The uncertainty itself becomes addictive. You are not staying because you are weak. You are staying because your brain has been chemically trained to associate this person with survival. This is why leaving is not a decision. It is a withdrawal. People who escape stage 5 relationships describe the first weeks of separation The way addicts describe detox: disorientation, physical pain, an overwhelming pullback toward the source. Understanding this is not an excuse for the person who built the trap. It is a tool for the person trying to escape it. Because patterns can be identified, and anything that can be identified can be interrupted. Breaking the pattern. The exit from stage 5 begins with one question. One question. The manipulator spent every stage making sure you never asked, does this person make my world larger or smaller? Think about every person you were close to before them. Think about the hobbies that quietly disappeared. Think about the version of yourself that existed before they told you who you were. Healthy relationships are expansive. They introduce you to new people, new ideas, new versions of yourself that you did not know existed. Manipulation is contractive. It narrows your world, your relationships, your self-perception, until the only thing left is them. If someone consistently makes you smaller, that is the answer. That is not love. That is a controlled environment. And you were never meant to live in one. Your brain recorded every stage, every warning signal you were talked out of trusting, every exit you almost took, every moment something inside you said, this is not right. It kept the receipts even when you threw them away. The question is not whether you can see the pattern now. The question is what you do with that clarity before stage 1 begins again with someone new. Watch what your brain does next, because psychological manipulation does not only live in relationships, it lives inside systems. It lives inside rooms you walk into every single day without thinking twice. The next video will show you exactly how it works and how long it has already been working on you.